Hello everybody, this is DeanoGTO, and this is the first replay on the channel of the Panther M10. Now, uh, kind of an interesting story behind this vehicle. This is one of the few premium tanks I've ever thought as bad enough to sell. I think there's like 3 premium tanks total I've done that with. One was the Panzer S35, which I sold because I needed 200k, and that was the only tank I really had as an option at the time. And plus, I knew I could get it back for half price during one of the sales, so I just got it back eventually. So that one wasn't a big deal. This is the only one I can think of above tier 6 that I have actually sold. So, yeah, that's kind of unique. But, well, clearly I bought it back. You probably want to know the reason why. Well, if you look at the armor model, this thing is now basically just covered in spaced armor. Like, it's actually pretty awesome, and I'm actually just gonna let that was a dumb shot. Plus 3-second rate of fire. Insane rate of fire. Like 3 seconds between each shot. Like, I have enough DP, or enough DP, or I have enough rate of fire to put a shot into his tracks, put 2 shots into his lower front plate, and then put another shot into his tracks. Yeah, that's mental. I'm even just going to all add on insult to injury and just track him again. He only has like 5 degrees of gun depression, so I'm just like, nah. And T67 said move Panther. I'm just like, no, why bother? Like, I'm not really afraid of the KV1 because, well, my armor is actually somewhat effective, so that's pretty nice. KV1's dead. Panzer 4 could be annoying, so I'm going to rate fire him, and unfortunately, that got kind of unlucky with that shot. Now, this thing I honestly think of as probably the closest thing we're ever going to get to, like an E50M style playstyle in the German premium tank. Well, in German premium tanks, I should just say. Because, well, let's just say the E50M has such a unique playstyle in comparison to most other tier 10 mediums that it's basically impossible to really like mirror it at a lower tier, because then it'd be very difficult to make something so fast with such a good gun and so well armored at tier 6 as an example. Like, the only way to really do that would be to have like a 11-second reload or some shit on like a 240 Alpha gun, and they're not going to do that. Why would they do that? So this thing is basically as close as you're going to get. You're not going to get like a big punchy gun like you do in the A50M, but this thing's pretty close in every other regard. I mean, it's got pretty good speed. I mean, it holds its speed reasonably well, and that's one of the other things I believe they buffed. I believe they give an extra bit of top speed. I believe. I may be a bit wrong on that. I think they did something to the mobility, but the one thing I'm not 100% sure on that. I should just clarify. I know for a fact they upgraded the armor. The armor is significantly better than it was previously. The armor was pretty much worthless, if I'm totally honest. And yeah, 0.3 accuracy for you right there. Accuracy on a gun like this, when you can just spam shots like there's no tomorrow. Accuracy like that, pretty great actually, because you can just like machine gun at the enemy's general location and just hope for the best. Doesn't use vertical stabilizers though, so shit like that's still likely to happen. So, yeah. The one disadvantage of this vehicle, I would say, is probably the fact that it doesn't use vertical stabilizers. Honestly, if this thing was in the American tech tree, this thing would be godlike, because then it would get vertical stabilizers, in my opinion, because it's America. Because American mediums above tier 6, I believe, all get vertical stabilizers. So I believe this thing would have been godlike in the American tree. But it's German, so what can you do? My equipment setup on this thing is covered optics, because I have the E50M crew in this, which is pretty based for the most part. Rammer and vents, just to make the rate of fire as insane as possible. The only thing I think I'm missing, I don't know if I had Brothers in Arms on this crew, I can't remember. And I'm just kind of sitting side on this guy because I don't really give a shit about the OI. His gun's inaccurate as hell. Did he pin me? I don't think he did. No, he didn't. Or no, he hit me. Oh, that was HE apparently. Interesting choice. Now, I have a shit ton of health remaining, and I'm doing pretty well here so far. I got kind of unlucky with the T25/2, and then Type 64 starts shooting me in the side, which isn't great. I mean, he's firing APCR at me like a motherfucker, and yeah, the only real option I have here is to bullet towards him, essentially, and Otherwise, I'm just gonna die. And did you see the rate of fire of that little fucker? That little fucker has such a fast rate of fire, it's unbelievable. I even writing no cap there because I'm feeling cocky at this point. I'm just like, yes, I'm a beast in my Panther M10, and what the fuck, what the hell happened to that guy? I don't know. But something I always forget about that thing, it has a Hellcat stock turret, but it doesn't have the crappy turret traverse speed of the Hellcat. So yeah, it's something I have a tendency to forget about, if I'm totally honest. And T-150 suddenly appears and nukes me. But that's not where this game ends. So right there, I am really confident I honestly, the real main reason why I was looking to go for it, why I was looking to not cap that in that game there, was honestly, and yeah, I even said in the chat 3,400 damage, and I'm really proud of it. And yeah, it makes sense to be kind of proud of 3,400 damage in tier 7, especially when one only has like 150 pen. And is a pretty huge target for the most part, but yeah. I'm at this point I'm looking at it going, yeah, Oni's got this easy, but this is where I make kind of a mistake in telling the Oni to just go for it, because honestly, I would say I'm one of the main reasons why this game isn't going to go to plan. The Rain 15550, I did not realize that was on the enemy team until that explosion went off behind the Oni. I did not realize the Rain was still alive. And that is going to be the deciding factor of this game. Because there's only 2 of us left. There's only 2 of my team left. There's the Oni, which could easily win this if this was a 15-minute game. The Oni would have won easy. And that explosion there also reminded me. Oni could have easily won this with no problems whatsoever. But the issue is, well, I even read in the cap there, I read in the thing there, Panzer IV cap to draw the KV-1S in, because, well, that just makes the most sense to like kind of bait it in towards you in order to get the extra bit of damage. But I didn't account for something, and you're going to see that in a minute, and it's totally my fault. It's totally my fault for asking the Oni to stop capping earlier. I honestly am going to take the responsibility of what happens in this game upon myself, because, well, I just feel like it was my fault. And the Oni, he initially heads off in that direction there, but then he realizes as soon as that guy's spotted, he starts to, and yeah, even right in the chat there. Plus, thinking about it, that's a French arty. That thing's gone by now. So, at this point, I've realized my mistake in telling them not to cap initially. And now I'm just kind of like, oh, I hope they win this. I don't want to have been the reason this is a loss. But we'll see what happens here. It takes 2 to 3 hours. It takes 2 to 3 hours for me to get back. Yeah, he's not wrong. Over 2 minutes left on the game. At this point, I was thinking, yeah, the playing time. I mean, 2 people on the cap, easy. But well, let's see what happens here. The Panzer IV is kind of hiding there. Is there time for driving? Oh, he's a smartass. And honestly, I think if the Panzer IV, oh no, this is what happens to the Panzer IV. The Panzer IV, just as he's about to win, gets reset to 5 cap points. That's brutal. He was a second away from winning. That KV-1S is pretty much a hero to the enemy team. Oh, that's such. I'd actually forgotten about that there. And at this point, I'm looking at just going, okay, there's 1 minute and 20 seconds left on the game. Yeah, this is happening. I think you can see where this is going. Yeah. If you didn't notice, even if the Oni was able to cap, he's 4 seconds behind the actual like end game timer. I'm even writing that cap. Both cap, not enough time for just one, and then the Panzer IV red's no cap. Honestly, I believe this is my fault. If they only had capped earlier, this would have been a win. There's 2 less on cap. 2 seconds less on cap than on timer. Dude, time is running out. Yeah. Well, shit. Like I'd forgotten about that there. That's just the way. Like I write what I'm thinking apparently. Well, shit and fuck. According to the Oni, the artillery was on the other side of the map. So, yep, I honestly believe this loss was my fault. this was honestly my fault. Don't give any shit to the Panzer IV. I got a feeling he's probably a relatively new player, just playing through the Panzer IV, because the Panzer IV is a fun wee tank. I loved my Panzer IV. Don't give any shit to the Panzer IV, to the Panzer IV driver, because, well, it's not he didn't do anything wrong. Honestly, the main mistake was me telling the Oni earlier, don't cap. This would have been an easy win. If I hadn't have done that, it would have been an easy win if I hadn't asked him not to cap earlier on in the game. But because I decided to be a bit of a damaged twat and be obsessed with killing the Type 64, because I was actually honestly kind of pissed off whenever the Type 64 started spamming premium rounds at me. I was just like, okay, fuck you, man. And I was just going for him, like full on, and then I didn't know the T150 was on that side of the map, and that completely caught me off guard. So, yeah, I didn't even spot. I don't even think I noticed the T150 on the map before he shot me. So, yeah, kind of an unfortunate game. 3,400 damage, 940 assistance, 115 blocked. I didn't really show off the armor much in this game, but the firepower improvements kind of showed themselves in that game. Just how quick the rate of fire on this thing is, and the accuracy as well. If I can, I'll try and find the Panther M10 buffs, and I'll read them out while I'm doing the stats at the end here. So yeah, as I said, don't give any shit to the Panzer IV driver. I've got a feeling he's in a clan, but I have a feeling he's probably a relatively new player. So don't give him any shit. That was a easy kind of a mistake to make. Like I honestly believe it's probably more my fault than it is his. So yeah. So let's go on to the stats. Okay, yeah, re-recording this because, well, I talked for 8 minutes a minute ago, and if you haven't realized the video was already like 10 minutes long, I'm just like, no, I'm not uploading a 20-minute video, just rambling for the last half of the video. Although that might be sort of part of the reason why some people are subscribed to me, because I just kind of jabber on, just talking at my ass, basically. So yeah, I decided that's probably not a great idea, because I'm just going on and on and on and on and on, just not stopping, so yeah. And I'm basically doing it again. So yeah, I'm gonna shut my mouth. I'm actually gonna talk about the tank now. So in this game, it was an okay game overall. I did get a high caliber, and I don't feel as guilty about kind of screwing over the team a bit in the end of that game anymore, because, well, I got an ace. I got a high caliber. The Oni got a steel wall, I assume, and, well, me and him were the only ones that did over 1,500 damage. Granted, it was a tier 7 game, but come on. Like, the Tiger P did nothing. How do you do nothing in a Tiger P? Same with the Yag Panther. How the fuck do you do nothing in a Yag Panther in this kind of matchmaking? I mean, seriously? I mean, a Yag Panther 4 must do 1,100 damage. There's no excuse for a Yag Panther doing that little damage. Or doing no damage at all. What the fuck? That side of the map, notice it just crumbled. Or just folded in on itself. I mean, fuck's sake. Yeah, I don't feel anywhere near as bad as I did about the results of that game. So I'm glad I looked at the results of this one. So yeah, I fired 39 shots, 35 hits, 29 penetrations. So pretty good hit rate, pretty good penetration rate as well. 3,400 damage, but that's what puts it into perspective, really. You do need to put a lot of shots into your targets in order to get the damage numbers to build up. So you rely a lot on things like perma tracking, like I did with the KV-13 start of this game. So that's one of the big things you need to learn when you're driving a vehicle like this, is to take advantage of like tracking vehicles. Although playing vehicles, I guess, is about to become more difficult in 9.18 because, well, reusable consumables. But I think this thing's rate of fire might be fast enough that maybe not, or maybe it won't really be as affected as much as it could have been. Because, I mean, it's got like a 3.33 second reload or some shit like that there with my crew. So, yeah, it's pretty amazing. And I do have brothers and arms in this crew, apparently. I didn't even realize. Okay, let's see. So, I died 5 minutes 33 seconds in. So, yeah, and so there was about 4.5 minutes left without me in the game, and that's when the game kind of went down the toilet. So, I'm just actually looking there. This thing's really cheap ammunition-wise and really cheap to repair. I actually made 59,000 credits in that game. That's more than I probably would have made in Liva. It's actually a wee bit of a surprise. I'm actually kind of amazed by that there, because I know some tier 8 premiums kind of struggle to make a lot of money, even when you do like 3,000 damage, although this was kind of an exceptional game in the Panther M10, because it's kind of difficult to do these kind of games a lot of the time, because a lot of the time you don't really have the correct situation in order to sit and pump shots into things consistently. So yeah, Overall, I think that was a pretty solid game. But now, time to talk about the general buffs this thing got to its stats in 9.17.1. So this thing got a significant amount of buffs to its just like in general aiming statistics, like reductions in the dispersion values for like rotating the turret, turning the turret with the suspension. Uh, and big one, dispersion of gun after firing was halved. And if you don't know what that means, that basically reduces the gun bloom after you fire your gun. The dispersion of the gun in general was reduced from 0.35 to 0.32, which is a significant buff, and that's why mine is like 0.3 or something like that. So yeah, it's pretty impressive. Also reduced the dispersion increase from moving the turret. Reload time was reduced by half a second, so 4 seconds between each shot. So that's why I think I think 3.33 second reload or whatever it was I said, it's probably the reload time ahead. It's kind of annoying that the reload counter doesn't work, or the reload timer doesn't work in the replays. But yeah, they also increased the view range by 15 meters, the top speed by 9 kilometers an hour, and added the spaced armor all around the tank. Everywhere but the upper side armor and the lower side armor is pretty much covered in spaced armor. Well, everywhere obvious is covered by the additional armor. Well, the back of the turret's not completely covered, and the top of the turret. Same with the lower half of the rear of the hull. You know, the obvious places aren't covered by additional armor, so yeah. But it's not like a super Pershing. It's not going to block like everything, but it's not extra little bonus to have. It's kind of unique. I can't really think of any other vehicles in the game that have just a ton of spaced armor on the front, other than the super Pershing. And this thing is still kind of fast, unlike the super Pershing. So yeah, I can't really think of any other vehicles in the game which have that are just built on spaced armor. Although, kind of thinking about it, the Sheridan kind of has that kind of thing going on. The Sheridan's going to have like just covered in spaced armor, so that could be interesting. So yeah, overall, like the tank. And it seems to make a decent amount of money. But would I recommend you buy this as your one and only premium? Probably not. I got this thing because it was on sale now. I had 2,000 gold already, so I just went, yeah, screw it, why not? I kind of want one again to try it, so yeah, that's why I got it back. And they also updated the model on this thing, so it actually looks a bit nicer than it did before. So yeah, would I recommend this as your one and only premium? No. Do I think it's fun? Yeah. And this is probably the closest you're going to get to like a standard looking Panther in the game, because I don't think they're ever going to release a tier 6 Panther in the game. Because I think they would probably nerf it to all hell if they did release it, because, well, it would probably be extremely powerful. So, yeah, let's see, anything else I really need to go over for this tank? Let's see, not really. So, yeah, overall, decent machine, and I still went on for 6 minutes. Screw it, that's one of the alright. Alright, okay, so, yeah, I'm going to re-release, I think, when this video goes up, the day before, I should have released the replay email address and stuff like that there, so that video will be up on the channel from this point on. So yeah, overall I like the tank, pretty fun to play. I wouldn't recommend it as my one and only premium. If you're going to buy it, like it's only 1,000 gold less or something like that there than a tier 8 premium, and you may as well buy a tier 8 premium if it's only 1,000 gold more. So yeah, if you're going to put money in the game, it's better to spend a wee bit more money once rather than having to go back and buy another one if you did end up wanting a tier premium later. So you can kind of see my logic there if you understand what I'm saying. So yeah. So yeah, I believe that's about everything I needed to say. So let me know what you think of the Panther M10. Do you think it's a bit of a XP pinata whenever you see them on the battlefield, or do you actually respect them a bit more since they buffed it? Let me know. I'm actually kind of curious because a lot of the time I used to kind of just underestimate these things, but then I came up against one in a lightly armored tank and it shredded me, and I was just like, okay, I need to see what the hell happened to that thing. And that's when I saw the upgrades that got to it, and I was like, okay, that thing may actually be worth buying now. Actually, that's what it was. Whenever I got this thing, it was I had sold it. I had sold it like 4 years ago or some shit, and or like I got it initially like a couple months after it came out, and then I sold it like a couple months after that. So yeah, and I was just like, I can't wish it was in the shop now. And then when it was introduced in the shop, I looked at it and just went, it's a wee bit too expensive. And then I saw it on sale, and I was like, yeah, fuck it, why not? I'm only gonna like, I'm not gonna sell it again if I do get it, because there's no real reason to. So yeah. So, and by the way, the reason why I sold it at one point was because I hated it so much back then because it was just worthless. It was not competitive in the slightest. It was just a big giant target that just getting nuked by artillery, so it just infuriated me to like no end. And that was back in the days when armor reviewers weren't a thing, so you didn't know if it had spaced armor on it or not, so you just had to guess. So yeah. So I've rambled on. It's now 8 minutes anyway, so it looks like this is just always going to be 8 minutes apparently. So, but yeah. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.